Hi, my name is Zoe, and today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Gemini, Cancer, Cusp, and an Aquarius. This couple thrives on grand romantic gestures. They don't do anything halfway. Now that doesn't mean they can't be laid back when they're together. You both know how to ruffle each other's feathers. The more desire you display for your Aquarius, the more they're going to make an effort. So if you're wondering why your Aquarius isn't doing as much for you, you may need to be the one who is more intentional. You know how to have a good time. Don't forget that when you date an Aquarius, pleasure can be your middle name. You have to meet each other halfway. Find a balance between how much you each give and receive. Sometimes it may feel like they're not into you. They can seem lazy or procrastinate when they're with you. It's like they're dragging their feet to love you. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. I have that song in my head. Look, it's frustrating because sometimes people don't really believe that you love each other. Like that you really, really love each other. Ugh. I just smothered on eyeliner for the sake of this video for fun, and it's all over my eyelids. So what a good metaphor for this relationship. All that watery Cancer energy really craves security and compassion in a relationship. And your Aquarius may not be the most kind and receptive person. They aren't as gentle. That's why often it's best to keep it platonic. You both are so grateful to have each other. I tried. I'm sorry. Whoops. Luna is not the most camera-friendly cat. She doesn't like to be in the spotlight. Baby, are you okay? Oh, I feel bad. Anyway, that's why often it's best to keep it platonic. You both are so grateful to have each other. You really see them for who they are. And it's never boring with an Aquarius. They know how to captivate you and keep your interest, and an Aquarius would give the best hugs. They aren't cold towards you, despite not being consistent in their compassion. They can be sweet. Just remember this part, because I know a lot of this video might seem like I'm against Aquarius, but I think in this scenario, and I'm really channeling that Gemini Cancer energy when I'm doing this video, when I'm talking and when I was planning this out, it can feel like Aquarius isn't doing enough and they're not good enough, and that's the problem, right? That doesn't mean that Aquarius is a bad sign to date or that this won't work out, okay? They have a very sweet energy to you. It's just not a consistent one. Yes, friendships probably would work better, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it and that you shouldn't, go for it if you want to. And if you can use this video to try to manage and navigate your expectations and your relationship. So do not think that the way I'm talking about Aquarius is just to drag them down. In fact, if an Aquarius is watching this, don't get upset about this. Instead, try to understand how you're being perceived by your Gemini, Cancer, Cusp. You might feel more social while dating an Aquarius. They can bring that side out of you, the side that wants to mingle and have a social life. They amplify that Gemini part of you that just wants to communicate and verbalize things and express yourself instead of that need to hide and go back in your shell like a crab, So they'll bring out more of an extroverted energy a lot of the time. When you're dating an Aquarius, they're the kind of partner that gives you a lot of space to be yourself and really express yourself and be more bold and out there. You both know how to have fun and make the most of your times together. You bring out the best in each other. You both tend to blame others for your own issues. You find some reason why it's not your fault, it's theirs. And you don't really want to take responsibility or accountability a lot of the time for the things you both experience because you don't want to face that there could actually be issues that you both have. So a lot of the time, this couple kind of goes through the scapegoating. You find a way to say that it's not your fault because you don't want to face the fact that something could actually be wrong. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because when you do acknowledge that there is something going on that's wrong, then you can actually work towards finding a solution for it and fixing it. But when you keep acting like everything's fine and it's not really your fault, then you're not really giving yourself that opportunity to heal and to grow as a couple. So this really might shed some light on some behaviors that are going on. It might take time, but you need to work on being more open-minded and seeing things from their point of view if you want this to work. You might have to muster up more energy and courage than you have in order to be there for your Aquarius. Things can get a little too comfortable. Here's how I see it. This relationship can be like your most coziest, delightful, comfortable hoodie that you wear all the time because you love it and it makes you feel so good and, you know, cozy. Or it can be like a prom dress that is super extravagant and beautiful and flashy and out there that you're only gonna wear a couple of times in your life, or maybe just one time for one event. That is this relationship. There's not this in between. You're either really comfortable and really cozy, or you're like, bam, look at me, check me out. But you can't just lie around all day in your hoodie and watch TV. No. You can't just stay in every single night or get really cozy with your Aquarius and just do really boring things, because you're not going to grow. You're not going to get out of your comfort zone. It's just going to be way too cozy and self-satisfying. And you both need to put in the work. You both need to try to make it work. Pay attention to your Aquarius sometimes because they show more than they say. Put yourself in their shoes. Most of the fights that you both have during your relationship stem from one of you not being aware of something or what your partner is going through. There is something forbidden about your relationship and it can feel kind of limiting. You can often use your relationship to drag your feet on what you need to get done or be productive, and you can use it kind of as a way to procrastinate or a way to escape, like as a distraction from your problems. You need to avoid trying to interfere with each other's lives. This is something that Gemini Cancers actually do a lot in relationships, where they want to help. They really want to take care of someone or do their best to help them and be there for them, but they end up somehow being a little manipulative when they do that. Or maybe they try to interfere in the other person's life a little bit too much, and sometimes they can cross the line. And then they find themselves wondering, well, what did I do? I was just trying to help, but really that person didn't ask for their help, you know, or that person needed to figure it out for themselves. And so even if you do know best, even if you feel like you're 100% in the right, and you might be, you might have to let your Aquarius fuck up. You might have to let them do their thing, and you can't interfere. You have to take a step back. Honestly, it's best to focus on yourself in situations like this. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Stay out of it. Your Aquarius can be so caring and warm, but at the same time, you can't expect them to be like that all the time. Like I said, it's not a consistent thing. They're not always going to be as patient as you want them to be. You both share a very emotional bond. Very emotional. You know how to make each other feel amazing. Dating an Aquarius can feel like a high for you. You're walking on sunshine. Whoa. You both manage to keep your wits about you when you're together, though. That meticulous air energy that you both share is very thoughtful. Aquarius might push your buttons. They don't filter themselves the same way that your Gemini side does. Geminis are very mercurial, right? And they know what to say. They know kind of how to place their words to make things sound good, to say things in the right way, to convey something. But Aquariuses, sometimes they just blurt it out. Like, they don't care as much about that. They can be a lot. You both can get too comfortable with each other to the point where it hinders your growth. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. Life can be so sweet with an Aquarius that it spoils you rotten. Aquariuses tend to take charge in this relationship. They like to call the shots and they need to have a say. They tend to have an opinion about a lot of things. You need to remember that happiness isn't an overnight thing. Things might take longer than you expect with an Aquarius, but that doesn't mean that they're not worth it. Not everything is better when you try to make it happen. A lot of things cannot be forced. Sometimes you just have to surrender to your Aquarius and relax. Chill the fuck out. But if you dig your heels in, that may not work every time. So the success of this relationship really does come down to the couple. Can you just let your Aquarius do their thing? Because that is crucial to making this work. Hand over the car keys, sweetheart. Hand them over. That doesn't mean all the time. It just means that sometimes you need to let them steer. And sometimes they need to let you steer, but it has to be equal. You need to go to the dentist right now because your love is so sweet that it gives you cavities. Love sickness is a real thing when it comes to an Aquarius and a Gemini Cancer cusp. I'm not fucking around. You both can be smug and too self-satisfied, and this can be very aggravating for your relationship. You tend to stress each other out after a while. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. I can't get that song out of my head. The sad thing is, that's the only part I know. Those lines. Wow. That Cancer energy, that water energy that you have, it means that you feel things super deeply and you are a very emotional being. Sometimes it takes you a lot of time to process something that is super emotional, but an Aquarius usually doesn't need as much time to heal and process emotional situations. They might get over it way faster. Thank you. Next. So when you both experience something really intense together that leaves you reeling and they just move on, it can be challenging. You both can be theatrical and extravagant as a couple. Jazz hands! But you're just as good at chillaxing and taking it easy. There isn't much in between though. You both teach each other so much. It's important to really boost your emotional intelligence with an Aquarius. You both need to be really conscious of each other's feelings and take it slow. And I know I said you have a very emotional bond, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you both are emotionally intelligent enough to navigate it. And so that is why you need to really work on this. This is a very delicious couple. I could just eat you up. Yummy. You both please each other sexually. Things can be very erotic in the bedroom. But beyond that, you can both annoy each other, which can be a turnoff. Being so available for each other can feel like a struggle for this couple. They can feel like juggling their own situation and their relationship at the same time is a lot. It can feel like you're trying to win your Aquarius's heart even after you've been with each other for a while. In the long run, it's really important for you and your Aquarius to build a strong foundation. It's so hot in here. Create a fortress around your love so that if you're ever going through a tough time, you can just pull from that, you know? Just make sure that there is air conditioning in it because it is hot right now while I'm filming and I feel all sweaty. So I hope that your love fortress is very airy and there's a lot of fresh air to breathe. Yes. And maybe some lemonade. Hear your Aquarius out. Active listening is a skill. Your Aquarius isn't always going to respond in a kind tone and be that soft soul that you know they can be. So when they respond in a really cold way or harsh tone, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? It can upset you. Even after you work through your differences, it can feel like you're still healing from something and they're already over it. Aquarius is very future oriented. They're very innovative people. And so they're like, why can't we just move on? You actually tend to live really well together. So buying a new house or a new apartment tends to be really awesome for this couple. You know how to make them feel cozy. You know how to make your space feel cozy. You both connect deeply through sex and pleasure. I could see this couple having sex in every section of their house. It's so important for you to strengthen your bond by partaking in activities that really open you up and require trust. The more you understand each other, the better. That means you're gonna have to let your walls down, or might I say, your hermit shell, my little hermit crab. You know, Cancer, crab, shell, whatever. You guys get it. I don't even know why I'm trying to explain it to you. Like, you're here because you get it. You little hermit crabs. Although, when you think about it, because it's Gemini Cancer cusp, it would be like flying hermit crabs. Like hermit crabs with wings. like sky hermit crabs. My mind just opened up like a whole new possibility of ways to represent this sign. Oh my god. Fuck duty and stuff you gotta take care of. Just be with each other. And Aquarius's feelings for you tend to sneak up on them. You know how to enchant them in a really subtle way. And a lot of the time, they don't even realize they have feelings for you until they realize they have feelings for you. Like, you usually start out being the one who holds the cards. As friends, it's common for jealousy to be an issue or envy. You both have this desire to win. The real test of this relationship will be when something terrible happens, like losing a family member or going bankrupt or something really intense. That's when their true colors come out. And Aquarius has a very unique take on things. They're creative, intelligent individuals. They may need to let you do your own thing on your own. It doesn't matter if they have the answer or if they know better. They need to let you answer it. Similarly to kind of what I was saying in the beginning with you having this habit of wanting to interfere with people's lives because you care about them, right? This is similar, but more in thought process for Aquarius. So they have all these ideas and opinions, and they feel like they need to assert those opinions onto you. They need to let you make your own decision without trying to influence the decision-making process, even if they are right or super knowledgeable. You make an Aquarius feel safe. You both are so relaxed and chill when you're together and comfortable that you make other people around you feel comfortable. It's contagious. Your Aquarius will learn so much about themselves through dating you. They would feel very satisfied with you. This is a very passionate, romantic couple, and they have a super unique chemistry. As friends, you enjoy going out and having fun. You like upbeat activities together. But somehow, they still manage to give you unsolicited advice and try to take charge. As a married couple, it can feel like you're just surviving marriage. You're not necessarily thriving. And your Aquarius might like to spend more time out and about than at home with you. You'll have to be on board with that. Aquarius doesn't tend to make you the center of their world. As a spouse, an Aquarius likes to be in control. They just can't help themselves, can they? But as friends, there's usually a lot of independence. Even if Aquarius likes to insert their opinions or insert themselves more, Aquarius can be like a backseat driver. This can frustrate you a lot because like you're your own person and you don't need their guidance. Aquariuses usually don't mean anything bad by it though. They might not be as sensitive to you. They can be intense and try to poke at you. Poke, poke, poke. But you don't poke the bear, do you? Because you know what the bear does if you keep poking it. Do you? Because you have a big heart, and it doesn't mean that you can just tolerate all these dominant qualities really well. There will be a breaking point. When will you snap at them? When will you poke them back? The more you allow yourselves to be independent, especially as friends, the better it will be. The closer you will be to each other. I get it. This all sounds kind of negative. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. This is one of those dynamics where they have so much chemistry and excitement and romance and sensuality, which all sound great if you ask me. But the more you go through, the easier and the stronger things will get. And how you both respond to adversity will tell you everything you need to know about how compatible you are. All right. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below if you're an Aquarius or you were born on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer, the cusp of magic. I love you guys. And let me know what you think. Have you dated each other before? Have you dated an Aquarius? What has your experience been like with this sign? I would love to know in the comment section. Even if you had a terrible experience or if you just disagree with me altogether and you're like, this is bullshit, Zoe, you are so wrong. I want to hear about it. I love hearing from you guys because that's also how I learn. You know, I'm not a Gemini, Cancer cusp or an Aquarius. I have never been in this situation. So hearing from you guys who have really helps me better understand it. Also, if you would like to learn more about your own relationship and your personal journey, you're welcome to book a reading with me. You can go on my website, zoethepsychic.com. There are links below as well. And you can also do an astrology reading with me or a tarot reading. Just check it out. And please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. So fucking grateful for my ex